Good stuff, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Good. Oh, you're good.
Have a
How
little
are you?
whiskey in it. That was all happy.
Well, I don't think I can have it these days.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I'd like to try, but I'm scared to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Erin.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you? So pretty good. So your wife lost her. Was it expected?
No, but yes, it's one of those complicated stories. But
I'm sorry.
yeah, it was definitely.
It was like.
It was a poopy. Yeah, well, and then, I mean, good, bad, and different. So other people that came from Idaho and stayed with me for a while was actually headed back when we got that weather. So he was actually at our house because roads were closed when everybody came back.
Nice.
So at least he was here and not out on the road. So,
At least he was with family.
yeah, I have a crappy deal and man got as good as it could have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And sometimes that's the thing.
I know. She's just had a rough couple of years. I did part of her mom passed away.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal. So, how many siblings does she have?
What's that?
She have a lot of siblings?
Yeah, because she's got
Hey, where's the mayor?
she had 3 older brothers.
7:32.
What's that?
7:32.
And that was,
Get the vice mayor, should run the meeting.
What?
I'm gonna run the meeting this
I'm gonna run and grab it.
7:32.
he's here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Computer.
At 7 with me. He got here early when he came in. I think he was visiting.
Maybe he's out for a potty break.
Huh?
Oh, here he comes, here he comes. All right.
You don't get there until 2 hours. Yeah. Then you might not even get that. Made life easy. How are you? Good. How's it going?
And I need check.
I thought you left us.
No, I'm not too scared yet.
Wonder what's going on.
All right, is everybody ready? Morning ready? All right, I'll call this meeting to order. It is 7:33, and the first thing on the agenda is please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is roll call.
Mayor Terry Whittle,
Here.
Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells,
Here.
Councilmember Aaron Durst,
Here.
Councilmember Daryl Gardner,
Here.
Councilmember Jabari Martinez,
Here.
Councilmember Linda Smith,
Here.
Councilmember Chris Weisenberg.
Here.
Next thing on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Councilman Smith.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Next thing on our agenda is approval of the minutes of December 7th.
We got a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not in a hurry. I didn't want that to be so transparent. Will you open online voting, please?
Talk fast tonight, huh?
It's not opening.
Okay, so online voting is open.
Oh, my God. Yes.
That's everybody. You gotta go back, all the way back to the main page, refresh.
Okay, so online voting has closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Well, I think I'm in now. Yes. All right, thank you. Next thing on our agenda is to approve the minutes of December 7th meeting. Councilman Martinez?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the council meeting of December 7th.
Second.
Vice Mayor Wells seconds. There's been a motion made and it's seconded to approve the city council regular minute meeting of December 7th as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Online voting is open. Online voting has closed and the motion passes with 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. The next thing on our agenda is a public hearing for the final plat of a privately owned property. Do I hear a motion? Or no, wait a minute. So I'm opening a public hearing. Geez, I got to get my head straight here. It's privately owned property for the proposed Miles Addition subdivision, also known as 29409 Plaza Street. Specifically, the plat of privately owned property located in and begin a portion of the south half northwest quarter, section 15, township 21, north range 87, west of 6th, principal meridian, Carbon County, Wyoming. Is there anybody that would like to speak on this in this public hearing? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and move to the next thing on the agenda. That is citizens' participation. This is the time when anybody can speak to us about something that is not on the agenda. You have up to 5 minutes. We will listen to you. And is there anybody here that would like to comment? Hearing none, we will move to the next thing on the agenda, which is council reports. And so Board of Adjustments, Councilman Durst.
I have nothing to report.
Carbon County Council of Government is myself, and there has not been another meeting since the last one. That was already reported on. DDA Main Street, Councilman Smith.
Yes, I'll be brief. We met Wednesday. Usually we do this on Mondays, but we had someone go to the Idaho Potato Bowl today, the Pokes won, and they're excited. But anyway, that's why we met on Wednesday. We will be doing our strategic planning for the year on the 8th of January, so we're inviting not only our DDA board, but our volunteers and things to come in and work with us on our directives and our planning. Then Winterfest had a lot of activities, but due to the snow and cold and things, they took a lot of the activities indoors. But they did have kids go to the depot and meet Olaf and stuff. He was supposed to go skating with him, but it was just too cold. But they met him at the depot and had a lot of fun. They did open the roller skating rink that was donated by Sinclair Oil Company, and Sinclair did bring in a party to the roller skating rink. They had over 65 kids. It was very successful, and the rink will be open here and there. It's on, I believe it's on the Facebook as to times and things like that. So anyway, encourage kids to go out and have a good time over the holiday.
Is it roller skating or ice skating, Linda?
I'm sorry, ice skating.
Okay.
I put I don't know. I was thinking of the roller skating rink and the ballerinas. I think we're off tonight, Mayor. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. It is ice skating. Thank you.
I went and looked at that. That's a pretty neat setup.
That's great.
All right, Rollins Planning Commission,
Mr.
Councilman, excuse me.
So I apologize. I didn't really hear you go to the family fun night
Oh, thank you.
because that's kind of a new thing that got rescheduled.
Yes,
So
yes, Aaron has some wonderful new
well,
light up the
put it
sky
on me.
thing, but
I guess just
you're sponsoring it, I believe.
so
right?
because the ice cube hunt and everything got canceled downtown due to the weather. So the plan is on New Year's Eve from, is it 4 to 8? And that's behind the Three Fiddlers restaurant, right, where the ice skating rink is. We're going to do a family fun night for all of Rollins, so you can bring your kids down. I believe they're doing a movie and s'mores. We're going to do a new thing, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to toot my home, but we're going to do a light up the night where we'll have some light up toys and things for the kids to be able to play with at no charge. So this is just a new thing. And the whole idea is a family-friendly New Year's Eve, and that's from 4 to 8 behind Three Fiddlers.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't write that down, but it's really fun.
Sounds fun. Thank you. Rollins Planning Commission, Councilman Weisenberg.
Yeah, we met last Tuesday, I believe. We'll hear more about that with the plat subdivision. We also discussed Title 19 a little bit of what might be the most important part of Title 19 to bring forth first and get that ball rolling there too. So it sounds to me as if secondary structures is probably a key thing in that asset of things. So that'll be coming in the new year, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you for your work on that. That's important. Thanks. Urban Systems Committee, Councilman Garner.
No update.
Okay. All right. So the next thing on our agenda is City View newsletter and activity guide update. And I'll turn the floor over to Jason and Myra.
Mayor, could I just say something?
Yes.
I previewed this on online, and I have to say, this is outstanding work. I think it's awesome, and I really think it's just a fine piece of work.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, even if preview is still good work.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, Myra, my partner in crime. So this is kind of what we passed out tonight is the more content than it is what the final newsletter is going to look like. The final newsletter will actually be like magazine form, so it'll look much nicer. And we're excited. We're going to get a sample in a couple days probably to review, to proof before we go to print. I wanted to start by saying that this has kind of been an exciting process, and it really goes to show how much this city has created so many different teams within the city, and then really just one giant team, because we had to reach out to all different departments, all different staff members to get Myra and I content so we can place them into the newsletter. Council members also gave us information to add to the newsletter. And then we also sent it out to some of our staff to help us proof and find some grammatical errors and some spelling and other things like that, because we stare at it for a month and change, and it was just really awesome, the group effort that it made to come up with this. So I'm also excited, and I think Myra would share this with me, that it's only going to get better with each issue. This was the first issue that we did, so we had to start from scratch and come up with a design and a format and all that kind of stuff. And I myself haven't done this type of work for probably about 7 years, and the software that I'm used to using has changed quite so much, quite a lot over that time. So we're looking forward to getting feedback as well once this hits the houses and PO boxes. We'll start working on the next one, and we welcome any feedback that the council has or staff members or the community. So it'll be distributed 3 times a year, April, August, and December. And basically the information will include info from different city departments, as well as a preview of upcoming recreation opportunities coming up for the next 4 months in each edition. It will be mailed to all homes in Rawlins and all PO boxes.
All residential boxes.
Thank you.
All residences get it.
Right, thank you. And it will be on the city website soon, once we get the proofing done and all that kind of stuff. And this is directly related to the strategic plan, which is also exciting to us. The directive is community trust and engagement. We're all familiar with that. And one of the initiatives is improve city efforts to inform the public. And there's a couple projects under there where this falls into play. One is release information from all departments through multiple channels. The next one is quite obvious. It's create a mass distributed newsletter and guide, including city information and recreation opportunities. So I enjoyed the process, and Myra and I were, we were up and down and high five and oops and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. But we hope you enjoy it. And, like I said, I think it's only going to get better.
This looks super cool.
And more for the public, if you want to make sure you get this, so obviously we have to lay it out and then it's ready digitally, but it takes a couple weeks to get it printed and mailed. So if people want to make sure they get it, if they go to rawlinswy.org/notify me, you can sign up just to get this specifically when it comes out. And there's lots of other stuff we send out to the public through those different channels too. And then we'll be doing a big news release about it this week. So, yeah.
One other thing I'd like to add, and Myra taught me this, all the links, emails, website links, and all that that's in this newsletter, when you look at the online version, when you click on that on the city website, those links will actually work, and it'll take you to that. So that was something I learned earlier this week. So. And does anybody have any questions?
No, just thank you. This is
That's
awesome.
cool.
Nice.
Takes a team and foresight.
This is
so
great.
thanks for putting the money aside.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. We done with that subject? No? Yes? Okay. Next thing on the agenda is a discussion on the dog park. Again, I will turn it over to Parks and Rec Director Jason.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. Myra's passing out a few flyers. One is for the dog park, which I'll talk about now. The other one will be for the skate park. These are town hall meetings that we want to host after the first of the year. We're extremely excited, and I've heard feedback from community members who are also extremely excited that council has earmarked funding for these two projects. They're projects that are not new to this city and not new to any of us. They've been kind of on people's radar for many years. So it's exciting to be able to actually pull the trigger and really do something about it. So the first one I want to talk about is the dog park. What our main goal is, we really want to get community feedback on what they want to see in a dog park, because it's their dog park. And so we want to host a town hall meeting on Thursday, January 27th from 6 to 7:30 at the Recreation Center in the multipurpose room. And the idea is to invite the community, invite residents to come down and talk about different amenities. You can do all kinds of things with a dog park. Funding limits or, funding determines what you can do, but you can have walking paths, you can have drinking fountains or hydration stations for people and pets. You can have dog agility areas. You can put artificial turf in one area if you want to not drag dirt out from the dog park into your vehicle. Parking can be something to be discussed. So we didn't really want to present council yet with staff's thoughts and ideas, although we have been working behind the scenes to come up with some plans. We want to hear from the community first, so we're not influencing anybody's ideas. So we're kind of starting from scratch at this meeting here. And so we hope we get some good attendance, and Myra and I will be working to try to get this meeting out to the public so we get people to attend. So I think that's really all I wanted to discuss tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
I don't think so. Thank you.
Thanks. Next thing is the discussion on the skate park.
Thank you. So same concept. We would like to host a town hall meeting to discuss skate park design. It's a little bit different. It's a different type of park. It sort of reaches out to maybe a different aspect of the community. So we are hosting a town hall meeting for the skate park on Thursday, January 13th at 6:00 p.m. at the Rollins Family Recreation Center. This one we are also, so while we absolutely want feedback from all of the community, all of our residents, we are also trying to focus a little more on reaching the teens in the community, because this skate park is going to be for them. I walked into a room with a bunch of teens one time when we were designing a teen center in another community, and I asked them, I haven't been a teenager for 25 years. Do you want me to design this teen center for you? And they're like, no, let us do it. And it's kind of the same idea here. We want to get their input. So we did schedule a pizza party for the middle school and high school Tuesday before this town hall meeting. One, to try to get their input on their thoughts of design, and two, to invite them to attend that town hall meeting 2 days later. So we're hoping pizza would kind of maybe encourage them to show up, and I think we'll have a good turnout. We have a few skate park companies who are going to come up with some preliminary designs that we can share with the teens as well as at the town hall meeting, so they can see what type of elements, because with the funding we have, our best approach is to start, in my mind, is with an above ground skate park. You can have something pretty quick with an above ground skate park. If you start talking about in ground bowls and things like that, the dollar amounts go up quite a bit. And so the good news about starting with an above ground skate park is you're also, because we talk about shovel ready, as part of the strategic plan. This project really is. We have a park at Key Club Park that's underutilized. It's poorly designed. It has a playground on the opposite side of the tennis court with a little trail, limited parking. It's really a great centrally located location for a skate park. It's right down the road from the middle school and the high school as well. And so we have these tennis courts that are not being used. We're going to focus, just so on a side note, we are focusing on improving the tennis courts at Washington Park. But our thought is to perhaps convert those tennis courts into a skate park, and we could utilize half of it with an above ground skate park, which can happen overnight, really, because we have that flat surface that you can skate on. Minor concrete repairs, but for the most part, it's ready to go. Once you get something like that in ground, you can see grant money start coming down the pike, because if you're trying to go after funding for a project that's just an idea, you don't have a property, you don't have the funds, it's a little bit more difficult for people to commit and give you grant funding. If you already have a park, the location sought out, the property secured, funding, and a portion of the park built, you can really see grant funding come down the pike. And Andrea is a great resource to the city, and I really feel like working with her, we could probably bring some more funding if the council would like to expand in the future and do those in-ground bowls and things like that. So initially, once again, we want to gather input from the community and the teams and have that town hall meeting on Thursday, January 13th at 6:00 at the Recreation Center. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody has them.
Councilman Weisenberg?
Yeah, you're talking about the tennis courts at Key Club not being used or utilized at all. With that being said, have you checked with the school district at all? Because in years past, they had to utilize both Key Club Park and Washington Park tennis courts to host like regionals and stuff for our community. So if that's the case, then I don't think we should be giving up a tennis court.
I will definitely follow up. My understanding is that Washington Park would suffice, but I will definitely confirm that and make sure that wouldn't be an issue. Thank you for that.
Vice Mayor Wells, go ahead.
I just want to say that I was 12 years old and we petitioned for a skate park back then. So it's really exciting to me that after that many years that this could potentially be actually happening for our teens. And my sons like to skateboard, so I'm really excited about this.
It really is a unique situation. I worked with a park committee in another community that were raising money for a skate park for 30 years, and generations that went by and tried to get a skate park for their kids, and then their kid, and it just never came into fruition, and that was frustrating for that entire community. So it is exciting to have some funding available to look into doing this.
I really am glad you're involving the kids, because I think there's more to it than just a skate park. They get to see the options, what they cost. If you involve them to start with, they'll appreciate it more, because they'll know what cost what and why don't we have Disneyland here in Rawlins, Wyoming, and such like that. And they will take a lot of pride in it. It'll be awesome for them to, grow up and sit in that chair down there and show their kids what they accomplished. And so involving the kids is huge to me, and I really appreciate that approach here. Thank you.
Agreed.
One other thing I'd just like to add is that skate parks are not just for skaters; it's a spectator sport as well. So a lot of friends are going to come down to the skate
If
park
I'm
too.
doing it, it is.
And so I'd be interested in hearing some of those other teens' ideas. If they're not going to be skating, what would they like to see in the area when they're going to go there while their friends are skating?
Yeah. Councilman Garner?
What, you said the Tuesday before is the pizza party for the kids. What time was that?
So Tuesday the 11th at 4:00 p.m.
For, and at the...
at the rec center, correct?
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. The next thing on our agenda is a discussion of the Rawlins Police Animal Shelter adoption fee and discussion of ability of police chief to waive adoption fees. I will turn the floor over to you, Chief Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Ms. Vice Mayor, council members, Mike Ward from the Police Department. The City of Rawlins owns and operates the Rochelle Animal Shelter. It falls under the jurisdiction of the Police Department. We currently have 2 animal control officers, full-time employees, who manage the facility, and it falls under the supervision of Lieutenant Daria Hooper. The animal control officers respond to calls on the street, and they're also tasked with the care of the animals at the shelter, which has to do with feeding and boarding and walking and cleaning. It's quite a job they do, and they do a really good job. The capacity of the animal shelter is technically 27 cats and 37 dogs. However, due to staffing and call load that the animal control officers respond to out on the streets, we try not to have more than 25 dogs. The capacity or the number of dogs and cats that are housed at the shelter is constantly fluctuating. There are times when we are maxed out in capacity. Currently, as of this morning, we have 1 dog and 3 cats at the animal shelter, which is the lowest that anybody can remember. When I began this discussion with the other employees in charge of the animal shelter, we were close to capacity with cats. They do a really good job of getting the animals out to final homes through adopt-a-thons and different functions that they have. And the fact that we were just at a maximum capacity probably about a month and a half ago, and that we're at such a low capacity today is good evidence of the work that they do. The numbers of animals have some other impacts as well. Obviously, the more animals, the more work it is for the employees to tend to the animals. The higher number of animals increases the risk of infection or disease being transferred between the animals and so forth, and that translates into vet bills and expenditures from the budget. Historically, when the capacity of dogs and cats has reached a certain level, the police chief has come before council to ask for a waiver of the adoption fees, which is a city fee that's enshrined in city ordinance. And whenever this happens, the police chief comes before council and asks for permission to either lower or waive the fees, which are typically about $40. It's kind of a cumbersome process to have to do that, and we'd like to properly manage the number of animals that we have in the shelter. I wanted to enter into a discussion and answer any questions that you may have about a possible change to city ordinance authorizing the police chief to waive those fees to lower the capacity or the number of animals in the shelter when it reaches a critical stage. I believe there's probably 3 options. One would be to leave the system the way it is now, and the police chief would come before you when the population rose to ask for a waiver of the fee. One issue with that is the time it takes to schedule to come before you. There's only 2 times a month that the council meets. Another option would be to allow the police chief the discretion to waive or lower the fees when the capacity reached a certain level. One issue there is that the speed with which the numbers of animals changes happens very quickly. So if it reached, for example, 75%, the next day it could be over 100%. A third option would be to possibly allow the police chief the discretion to waive the fees based on whatever is happening that particular time. Checks and balances are very important in all levels of government. With that third option, a check and balance could be having the police chief check with the city manager for approval before the fees were waived and then report back to you. So those were 3 options I thought of, and I wanted to give you the opportunity, and I wanted to have the opportunity to discuss this with you and answer any questions that you might have.
Councilman Smith?
I have a question for legal, Mrs. McPherson. I'm not sure where this is, but I think that the council sets fees overall generally for all of our activities that we conduct in the city. And this falls under raising fees and things like that. Is there any prohibitive languages or ordinances that would keep us from not doing this for the police chief or giving him the authority to do that?
The short answer is no, because he would set the fee, but you're giving him the authority to waive it if certain prerequisites are met.
Okay, so we wouldn't have a problem doing that. Okay, thank you.
Councilman Weisenberg?
Chief, what would be your preference on this? I know it's hard to manage a number, a percentage. What would be your preference if this was, I mean, why we're in a discussion to keep that regulated?
My preference would be the third option, which would give me the broadest discretion to manage the fees and subsequently the population of the shelter on any given day. I've been told, and as we just discussed, that we were at maximum capacity not long ago, and right now we're at a very low capacity, but it changes frequently. There are times where a large number of animals may come in one day. Getting the animals out through adoption takes effort and time. I think the third option would give me the most flexibility to try to manage how many animals we have there. The second option, where it would hit a percentage and then authorize me to use discretion to waive the fee, would be my second choice.
Do you know how, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you know how many animals or dollars, either way, that we're talking about here on a yearly basis? Let's say that we just quit charging that adoption fee. What do we take in on that? What are we talking about?
So the quick answer is I don't have the exact numbers, but I'd be happy to get them for you. I do know that the adoption fees are a drop in the bucket in terms of the cost of operating the shelter. It's more of a commitment shown by the people adopting the animals that they want to do so. Mm-hmm. Between the cost of running a shelter in terms of salary and just food and the equipment there, and then the vet bills, the adoption fees don't cover even a fraction of that.
I was asking, I've worked with Pet Partners quite a bit, and I know they help a lot, but they have their limitations too. But I would like to know that number, how many animals get adopted every year, so I can get a feel for what the total amount is.
Sure.
Because the money is second to getting these animals in a good permanent home, to me.
Mr. Mayor, what would be the best way to get that information back to you? Do I have to wait for the next council session, or can
No,
I just get
I
it to
think
you?
just email all of us that, the city council, so we could
I'll do so tomorrow.
I can't think of any other information I'd like to see before I made a decision on that. Anybody else? You had a question?
I was just
Councilman
curious,
Durst?
so when you're talking about waiving fees, is it just the idea that you have so many that waiving fees, I guess I'm just, because that's my understanding was the biggest issue was the fee was, it was kind of a commitment by people to say, well, we're not just doing this to turn this into a lab, you know.
Right. So your question,
Well, I guess I'm just curious, I mean, why would you waive the fee? What's the point of waiving
to
the fee? I
facilitate
mean,
the successful adoption out of the animals to control the number of animals in there, just to make it a little bit easier. It's been done in the past. I have a couple examples of when the previous chief had come before you to ask for either lowering the adoption fees or waiving them altogether when the capacity rose. But it would really just be a tool to help facilitate getting the animals out adopted correctly to lower the population inside the shelter.
okay. So I would agree. I'd love to see the numbers and know what was kind of really happening as far as.
So tomorrow I'll find out how many animals rotate through the shelter on a yearly basis, and we can calculate what those adoption fees are as a result. Are there any other numbers that would help?
I can't think of any at the moment, but
Okay.
yes. Callie, you have something to add?
Well, I just noticed that you're not listening to my news story.
I could think of 300 jokes you wouldn't like.
300 animals. Yes, go through the shelter in a given year approximately.
So about 300 and the adoption fee is 40-ish.
All of them are ending up in, not all of them are getting adopted to an individual household. Sometimes they might go to a rescue.
We recently had 2 huskies that were adopted out to
In Montana.
in Montana to a dog sled outfitter,
Awesome.
who was very happy to get them, and I understand they were very happy to be joining their brothers and sisters on a mushing team.
I've driven them all over the place, black dog rescues and all
That's
that.
a-
It's
that's
kind of a
also-
cool network, but
That's also a good example of the creativity that the animal control officers use in trying to find good homes for the animals.
Councilman Martinez?
I don't have a question, but I'd like to see us appropriate buku bucks to build a larger cat shelter. If we could catch all the cats that are strayed around Rollins, we wouldn't have enough room in the little hut that we have for a cat shelter
All
now.
of the pet partners
So
stuff.
that's my statement.
She's.
It's almost always full.
Usually, Joy.
So, yeah, as was mentioned, we do work with Pet Partners, which is a nonprofit that deals with the feral cats. The shelter typically houses domesticated dogs and cats, so we work with them to get the feral cats placed. And my understanding is they frequently, as was mentioned earlier this evening, they typically will get the feral cats placed in ranches and similar places that like having those animals around.
Well, it used to be that they would let you have a trap. You trap the cat and then you call the animal control and they would pick it up and do whatever they want with it. I'd like to see that program go on. I'd like to see where somebody could call and ask for a trap and they set it, they catch the cat, they call the animal control, they pick it up and take care of it. Because we just have way, way too many cats running loose. I know a lady that just collects them in her garage, and then she just opens the door and there they go. There's just a lot of cats, and we need a larger shelter, I guess, to be able to take care of the problem that we got.
Vice Mayor Wells?
I do know they rent traps to Bari at the animal shelter.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about rent. It used to be they would bring it to you,
Oh, gotcha.
okay, and then you'd catch the cat for them and hand it back to them. And if they want to charge a fee, that's fine too. They can charge a $5 fee and bring it to them, or $10 or whatever. But we got to figure out a way to catch all these cats that we have in this community. We got plenty. We don't have a shelter large enough to collect all of them.
We had a situation in our neighborhood where about 5 houses down, the lady moved out and left 40 cats, seriously, or at least 40. And they were terrorizing the neighborhood, the gardens, the whatever. And it took a while because the pet partners had, they had as many cats as they could take care of, and it took them a while, but it did get taken care of finally, and I do appreciate that. But we do have a lot of cats. We might want to look at expanding our holding power of cats.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll get that information to all of you via email, and it's kind of been answered. It's 300, by the way.
Okay.
But I'll still send it to you and
Yeah, check her and make sure she's right. Fact check the media. Yeah.
She's my source too, so.
Almost always right, yeah. All right, thank you. I will appreciate getting that information.
It's okay with my partners, I'm going to stay right here.
Oh, okay. All right, so the next thing on the agenda is department reports, and so we'll start with the police department, I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So in terms of staffing has been an issue with the police department this year, and I've discussed this before. We're authorized for 19 sworn officers, including a chief, 3 lieutenants, 4 sergeants, and the rest were our sworn officers. We are at 12 total with 3 in training. Typically when police officers or law enforcement officers are in training, they don't count towards the complement because they're partnered up with the training officer, so they can't fill a shift or fill a beat. So we've been very short. We've also had outages due to COVID and other illnesses and so forth. The lieutenants have actually been filling in as frontline officers on a regular basis, which is not what I need them to be doing. It's not what they're paid to be doing, but that's what they are doing because we're one team and they're out there. So I'm happy to let you know that 2 of the officers in field training in the last couple of weeks have completed their field training and successfully completed their exit interview from field training. One of those officers, Kyle Murphy, was already certified as a peace officer within the state of Wyoming, so he is fully cut free and on the road. Officer Trent Wozniak is free from field training. However, he will be attending the Wyoming Law Enforcement Academy starting in January, and he'll be there for 3 to 4 months. When he comes back, we're going to have him with the field training officer just for a couple more weeks to ensure that he still has his feet under him. We have another officer who is still in field training, and we're hoping will be finishing up shortly. We have hired a 7th dispatcher who is currently in training. That will last for a couple months, so our dispatcher complement is now full. We still have an open detective position. My goal is once we have the patrol officer positions filled, then we will take one of them to go to the detective position. And we still have an open code enforcement officer that has been budgeted, but has not been approved to fill just yet. We have 3 applicants currently in a waiting pool who have passed the initial testing process for the police department. I'm waiting until that pool grows slightly larger so that we can pick from a larger pool. We do have a number of people online who have submitted resumes and several that have actually filled out the city application, which is required. We also rewrote the hiring advertisement and we released that about a month or so ago. And we're going to be looking at some other options to increase recruitment for hiring. We're working still with the police commission to rewrite and review the commission policy. That's moving along fairly well. It's a lengthy process, but I believe we're reaching the conclusion of that in the near future. We have developed and we're using a new complaint tracking system. Complaints were not tracked previously. They were handled when they came in. Now we are tracking them, assigning a number, and keeping a spreadsheet of all complaints we receive and how they were handled. Last week, Lieutenant Jared Frakes taught constitutional law and search and seizure law to 2 8th grade social studies classes who were studying the Bill of Rights. This kind of just came about, and my understanding is that it went very well. We've been very busy. The SRO and other officers have been very busy assisting Carbon County School District 1 with different situations in the schools. As you may be aware, last Friday there was a nationwide threat on TikTok against schools, so we had a heavy presence in our schools last Friday. In terms of calls for service, I typically tell you the number of calls we receive for the month that I'm talking about, and for the previous month. I'm going to add for the entire year to date, since this is our last council meeting for 2021. So there's different categories here. One of them is 911 calls received, which is basically when somebody calls 911. Another category is telephone calls received, which is different than 911. We have people that call our dispatch center on the non-emergency line, or we have calls that are transferred from other agencies. We have dispatch calls for service, which is when we dispatch the police to a call for service. Case follow-ups are when police officers call out that they're following up on a previous call that they handled. All other is anything else that comes in from a different manner that isn't captured in the above. So for December, 911 calls received was 285, down from 460 for November, down from 460 in October. 911 calls received for the year to date is 5,060. Telephone calls received at our dispatch center for November is 1,139, up slightly from last month at 1,071. Calls received for the year is 12,783. Police dispatched calls for November, 1,082, which is up from October when it was 631, 6,538 for the year. Follow-ups, 51 for last month, 63 for the month before, 526 for the year. The all other category, 307 for last month, 319 for October, 4,156 for the year. Animal calls. For last month, 60, 58 the year before, 770 for the year. So for animal calls that typically our animal control officers respond to, almost 2 a day on average, and they're pretty busy with those. One thing that I don't normally talk about, but I'm going to talk about tonight in kind of the year-end wrap-up, are the top 10 categories of activities that the police officers have been engaged in this year. So before I tell you what they are, I have to tell you that I was surprised by what they are. Things that I would guess would be in the top 10 of what police do typically are not in our top 10. So the number one thing that the Rollins Police did this year was traffic enforcement. Traffic enforcement kind of dovetails with our mission. When we make traffic stops to enforce traffic laws, we do so to correct behavior, driving behavior, to prevent the loss of life, to prevent injury, and to prevent property damage, which ties right into our mission of what we do. So this year, the Rollins Police Department made 1,473 traffic stops, which accounted for about 21% of what they did, other than patrolling. And that's a pretty good chunk, and I was actually surprised by that. This was also in connection with the low staffing. So when we have low staffing, that means obviously the officers are running more calls for service and don't have as much time for self-initiated activity like traffic stops. But they were still out there, and they were still making the traffic stops. Our only motivation, once again, is the protection of life, prevention of injury, and protection of property. They issue either state tickets or city ordinance tickets. Roughly, about half of the traffic stops resulted in a citation being issued, and the other half resulted in a warning being issued. The number two category of calls that the Rollins Police Department handled this year was animal calls. Number three was assisting another agency. That could be assisting the Highway Patrol, it could be assisting the Department of Family Services, or the Sheriff's Department, or any other agency that calls for us to assist them. 342. Miscellaneous complaints came in number 4, and I actually have a problem that we're going to be addressing with this. This is a general category that does not specify, it's basically a catch-all that anything falls into that doesn't fall into another category. And because it's number 4 and because there's so much time spent doing it, I'm going to be looking at breaking that down so that it's more specific and it does a better job of describing what's going on in there. Number 5 was when officers call out with a vehicle, but it's not a traffic stop. So it could be a suspicious vehicle, it could be a vehicle related to another call that they were on earlier and they spot it now and they call out with the car. That was 288 occasions. The next one is checking areas of concern. So we receive complaints from the public about an area of concern. It could be a park or school or something like that. And then the officers, while they're on patrol, will call out that they are checking that area. And that was number 6 on the list of things that they did this year. The next is a check the welfare call. So that would be a call where a citizen calls in and wants the police to go check the welfare of somebody. So that was number 7. Parking complaints, number 8. Assisting motorists who might be disabled, stuck in the snow, and so forth, number 9. And property damage accidents were number 10. So nowhere in the top 10 were the typical types of crime that you would anticipate the police are dealing with in Rollins. Where I came from, I was a little bit more acclimated to dealing with robberies and aggravated assaults and burglaries. Those things in Rollins are much farther down the list of the items that the police spend time dealing with.
Were people allowed to have guns where you came from?
Yes, but not to the extent here.
Just asking.
Legally. Legally. Illegally, there was far more guns where I came from. I want to talk briefly about code enforcement. This month, 7 cases having to do with property, multiple issues, 6 cases with abandoned or derelict vehicles, 5 cases of garbage. 2, I was a little surprised by this one, having to do with weeds. A little late in the season, but apparently there were 2 complaints. 1 dead animal and 5 assisting with other items. For the year, the code enforcement officer has generated 222 incident reports for code enforcement violations that he was assigned. 186 of those cases are closed, 52 are still being worked on. Our current code enforcement officer has been with us 1 year and 1 month. And I think I've spoken of this before, but it's an important point to make. The response that he has been getting from the public that he is dealing with about code violations, in my opinion, has been nothing short of phenomenal. He has had 100% compliance with the citizens of Rollins. He has not issued 1 single citation. We're the police. If we have to charge somebody, we will. That's what we do. But we would much rather have the cooperation of the community we serve, and that's exactly what we've been getting. I've been very encouraged by that. I think that Brian Markett's doing an excellent job, and he's very much an asset to our department and to the city. Finally, I'd like to talk about our victim assistance program, and this is the first time I've spoken about this before you. We have 2 full-time and 1 part-time victim advocates that work directly for the police department. We have 6 victim advocate volunteers. They advocate all victims of crimes within the city of Rollins. It doesn't matter what type of crime it is. They will reach out to the victim of that crime and do the following types of services. They provide emotional support and community referrals to other agencies that might provide assistance in terms of housing or other things. They assist in compensation filing in the court system. So when a victim of a crime has lost money or is financially impacted, they will assist them in filing in the court to try to retrieve that money if there's a finding of guilt. So far this year, they've filed for over $53,000 in compensation for various victims. They provide info about the victim's case and court procedures. They assist in the writing of impact statements. They apply for grants. This year, they've handled 206 cases that have been assigned. And this was interesting to me. I wasn't aware. They actually go to court in place of the victim. So when there's a trial, obviously the victim has to be there to testify, but there's a lot of other court appearances that the victim needs to be represented, but not necessarily there in person, and our victim advocates go in their place so they don't have to go to court and potentially face whoever's being accused with the crime or take time off of work and so forth. Where I came from, we had victim advocates, but we had about 15 for over 1,300 officers. We have 2.5 for 19 plus 6 volunteers. I was very happy when I came here and saw the importance that the City of Rollins and the State of Wyoming puts on victim advocacy. It's very important, and I appreciate the support that the City of Rollins gives them. Any questions?
Not for me. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Merry
Chief.
Christmas.
Yep, Merry Christmas to you too.
Honorable Mayor, Madam Vice, and members of the council. Yes, it is going to be very, very hard to follow it up. Thank you, Chief Ward. But my Christmas gift to you all will be the word brevity. So, year to date, 908 calls we've been on. Training hours, something I'm very, very proud of. We are at 3,034 training hours, which is almost 1,000 hours more training hours than the previous year. So I think with our attitude about getting out there and doing the job and actually going in the books and putting it on record is being upheld, and I'm very, very proud of the men and women of the department for that. Left my glasses? Yeah. But guess what? I think I can still read this. 328 inspections we've done this year. We have 12 left for the year to be complete. So I'm very excited to say that we will be completed. We are taking some of those off the list. We're working really well with the State Fire Marshal's office. And if you know Al Rude, he comes out and does a lot of the inspections here in town. We're going to kind of marry up with him because I do believe we're kind of doubling up inspections. When he does one, we'll do a company officer walkthrough, make sure everything looks good, but we won't focus on that facility as much as we normally have. It's going to take a lot off the firefighters because having them be full-time inspectors too is a lot of time. So our building official, Ariel Phipps, has come on board with us, and in November and December, she has completed 92 inspections, and she has done magnificent work. Her professionalism in the community is second to none. Very proud to have her working with us on staff. And guess what? That's all I have for you. If you have any questions for me, I'm more than happy to answer.
Councilman Weisenberg?
I want to say thank you for getting on board with Al Rude. He's a great asset.
He is. He's outstanding.
Yeah,
Thank
longest tenure fire marshal in the state, so he knows his ins and outs of it all, and like I said, he's a great asset to be involved with.
We've actually been, and I know I didn't report this before, and I'll make it very, very short. We've actually been going out with him on a lot of inspections now, and he's teaching our younger guys exactly the ins and outs of how to do it thoroughly, how to do follow-up, which is, I think, one of the things that we will make an improvement factor for us for next year. But if any other questions? Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. They're back there flipping quarters. You must have lost, huh?
Honorable Mayor and Council, I think I'll be fairly brief. I wanted to update you on a few capital items that you supported for the current fiscal year. We are currently out to bid on 3 projects that I wanted to bring to your attention. One is the golf course greens covers. So the bid openings are late January for all 3 of these projects, I believe. The other is for an irrigation truck for our Parks Department. That is actually from Impact Assistance Funding. And then the third bid that we're currently out on is the weight room equipment replacement. So we're excited about all 3 of those projects, and there will be a few more coming up in the coming months. Next, I want to kind of talk about the recreation center. There's so much happening there right now, and I couldn't be more excited. And I want to thank council for supporting hiring an additional recreation programmer. We hired Nikki Howell. She's been there maybe a month, this December 1st, I think. And we've already just seen some growth in the opportunities recreation-wise that we can do. We already had a great existing staff. The energy was always great. but I just have to say, when you walk into that office, you can just really feel that energy. They're all working together, they're meeting, they're throwing ideas out there, and they're making a lot happen. I mean, tomorrow we have a dodgeball tournament for the middle schoolers, and the school's been great too about announcing it. My son's in 8th grade, so he tells me, "Hey, Dad, they announced it at the school twice today," and so we're looking forward to that. We have a game night for middle schoolers coming up. We have a Jolly Jamboree for K through 5-year-olds for like movies and crafts coming up. We also have a Tiny Tots program, winter craft and playtime for 0 to 5-year-olds. We've also reached out to a local fly tyer who's going to teach a fly tying class for youth and adults coming up after the first of the year. So it's just really great to see what our staff is doing, and I couldn't be more proud of everything they're trying, and they're reaching out to the community, they're listening to the community. Just before this meeting, Myra sent out a copy of the community feedback survey, and I already started going through it, highlighting areas that related to the Parks and Recreation Department. Some were, park related, some were recreation related. So I'm really looking forward to working with my staff on addressing some of those issues that might come up. Some's positive, some people feel we need improvement. So this is all good feedback for us to work for. But anyways, I wanted to thank you for your support of the new recreation programmer, and drop by the office and say hi, introduce yourself. You'll feel the energy that I do, and I couldn't be more proud for our team that we've developed. So other than that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I just have one comment. I went up there today to, I don't want to ruin a Christmas present, but I went up there today, and the young man that was at the front counter, he was just so incredibly knowledgeable and polite, and I was very, very impressed. So might pass that on to him.
I will. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm terrible with names, or I'd tell you his name.
His name is Brett. Yes.
Yep. He's awesome. Yep. Anybody else got anything?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
I don't have quite as exciting news as everybody else has had, but I have one that we've been working on for quite some time, and just to give the public an update, is about the audit. Never before have I been so excited to have an auditor coming on site. So they are planning to be here. Their target time is January 10th through the 17th, and so mid-January. They are coming along. They got the information from the former auditors, and finally, and so they sifted through all of that, and things are coming along very well, as I understand. So that is the big hurrah for the year. And then also to let you know that Sean and I have been working on the budget calendar, and how we want to lay that out and work with staff and everything to pull it all together. We are going to start in January, so that gives us about 2, maybe 3 more months than we had last year. So as soon as we perfect that, which we hope to do when Sean gets back from, he's been out, so as soon as he gets back in, we'll finalize that and let you know where we're at on that. So some of the things that we're working on is I am working on the loan agreement for the money that is from the general fund to the enterprise funds for reimbursement. And then after I get that done, I'll work on the purchase policy, and then or actually will be the investment policy will come next, and then the purchase policy, so that we can start developing the policies that we somehow just disappeared. I don't know where they are. So Kathy is helping me work towards that end, and so hopefully that will come along just as easy. So any questions from there? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council. Update for Public Works. Utilities departments, continuous service calls on sewer lines, meters, water, basically any water issues or sewer line issues for household residents. We did have a lot of big snowstorm last couple of weeks, so we had utilities helping us out, remove some of the snow. Did a great job with that. We did some snow removal with pedestrian tubes. We got a hydrant repair. There's a lot of traffic accidents. We've got a truck run over a hydrant. We've had multiple signs down. Streets department's been doing a great job. Removing snow, plowing snow, sanding snow, replacing signs. And even with some of our equipment failures that we've had a couple breakdowns with some of the sand trucks. We haven't had a full equipment fleet running yet. Some of our employees have been ill, so we've had kind of some hurdles with this last snowstorm. But everybody's doing a great job. We're down a little bit in staffing on utilities. We're down 2 right now. We may lose 2 more, so we're already looking at hiring some new staff, some young staff for them. Water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant, they're running good. We're just doing some minor maintenance repair work that's been put off. Tank levels, water levels are up right now. We're using a little bit of water because we are on our artesian walls right now because we're working on the pipeline. So we want to get that steel pipeline, the valves on that fixed as soon as possible so that we can get that spring pipeline on before we get our Sage Creek pipeline online. So I was looking to maybe bring in, we have a contractor that is hired on for the Sage Creek spring pipelines, and we're basically moving out right now. We have equipment on site, most of the materials on site. We're ready to go. Tonight, hopefully we finish up the contracting so we can get that moving. What we'd like to do is we only had 2 contracting companies come in and bid on this. One of them was a lot higher than our contractor that we picked online to do the pipeline, but we'd like, because it was too big of a project for Viper, so it's kind of out of their ballpark, but I would like to bring them on because we have a deep valve, 16 foot, that we need to replace before, or not replace, just repair work on. So we were talking about that with our water and superintendent today. We'd like to mobilize them out here and get a contract done with them for basically picking up that 16 footer that the city can't get to. So we'll be looking at maybe hopefully mobilizing them next week. So I get with Kathy and work up a contract for them to do the work, if that's okay with you guys.
Work with Kathy, get it done.
Any other questions you guys have?
I have no questions, but I got to tell you, with that last snowstorm we had, that was a pretty good snowstorm. And normally when it's like that, I hate going to Walmart because everybody's complaining about the streets. And I got so many compliments on the job your guys did. And,
They've been doing fantastic.
And you know, a snowdrift here and there because of crazy wind, but it was compliments to you and your crew for getting that done. They did great.
They're doing a fantastic job. And our whole department kind of got together on that one, and we all worked together. It was great teamwork. I can't say enough about it.
It was much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, Merry Christmas. Luke's going to be last, ain't he?
I clearly don't have a pecking order yet, but let's do that.
Throw elbows.
Thank you.
Don't. Thank you. Thank you.
What? Oh, you want to read this?
Honorable Mayor and Council, Nate Davison from Economic Development, for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet. I just want to start first by saying that if my onboarding with the city had a theme song, it would be that I'm into something good. The thought that keeps running through my mind is indeed something tells me that I'm into something good. I've been warmly welcomed by everyone throughout City Hall and within the city organization, the City Council, and there's been a lot of good feedback throughout the community too. Of course, I'm thrilled that
that you approved having this position and creating this department. But I just feel a lot of excitement and enthusiasm all around for what we're going to be able to do with economic development. My report this evening can be summarized simply that really good things are happening in the way of economic development in the city. And I really want to build on the good things and move us from good to great. In his book, Good to Great, Jim Collins teaches, you absolutely cannot make a series of good decisions without first confronting the brutal facts. Collins also points out that it is critical for individuals and organizations to realize the brutal facts of their reality if they are to move from good to great. All of this is to help everyone understand where I have decided to start my work and why this will prove to be the most valuable starting point. I have an example from this last week that illustrates the opportunity we have to really make progress and build on where we already are. I met with a member of our community who wants to see our economy grow and strengthen. This individual shared an observation that even I myself have had, which is that economic development can easily go in multiple directions. There are a lot of good ideas, but chasing after numerous goals brings about two very dangerous troubles. First, chasing after something wastes a great deal of energy. The chase is highly costly and risky, especially when considering that the returns and rewards don't always meet or exceed the input to achieve them, nor are they guaranteed. We're much better off to employ the principles within the law of attraction, the law of reciprocity, and controlling the narrative. Second, the enemy of greatness in this case is the pursuit of too many good things. Within economic development, there are countless good ideas, but theorizing about action gets us nowhere, and trying to act on every idea that sounds good doesn't put us much further ahead than doing nothing to begin with. So focused, strategic, systematic, and calculated steps forward will move us along the path of improvement more effectively and efficiently than trying to be all things to everyone all the time. I see the identification of these troubles as part of that process of understanding the brutal facts of our reality. Upon understanding these realities and challenges, I'm better positioned to put together an approach that will move us forward. We have some big long-term projects in the works that will be key to our economic development process. First, the city's strategic plan is just a fantastic guide for the city as a whole. A core directive of this plan is economic development, and we're making progress on the initiatives and measures of success. And this living plan will remain central to our efforts in the economic development department. Second, the Business Ready Community Economic Development Plan grant, which was one of many that Andrea recently has worked on. She's already been recognized for her great work, but I don't think we could do it enough. She's really just done so much in the way of getting these grants moving along, and that's just a huge benefit to the city. But this economic development plan grant is going to help us to collect and organize data to better understand where we are now and where our best opportunities are in the future. And it will also support us in creating a customized economic development plan and roadmap specific to the city of Rollins. Third, we're starting to talk about city branding and how it relates to economic development, business recruitment efforts, and community pride. So these larger long-term projects lead us into several smaller parts as well. So some of those we're focused on shovel-ready properties. That'll be a huge benefit so that we're ready when opportunities present themselves. We really hope to be as business-friendly as possible so that new businesses can set up shop as quickly as possible and get into operation. We're supporting efforts to improve internet in town. So that was a story just this last week. We've gotten a huge, I'm just thrilled with the response we've got from our community. I believe over 60 total responses, and the vast majority of those are in support of helping an organization receive a grant so that we can get higher speed, better speed internet here. So back to those bigger long-term plans. I know that those are definitely important, but at the same time, I'm not much for waiting around for long plans to work themselves out before we start moving our feet. So with all of that said, I've created an initial and simplified plan to get us moving right now. One that I believe is definitely going to be in line with those long-term plans as we develop them, but one that we can really start putting our focus on today. And if I were to put a symbol to it, it would be the three-legged stool. It's the handout that I provided. So I believe that it's on this stool that then our economy can really grow and flourish. The first leg of the stool would be to attract travelers off of the interstate or the travelers who come through town and convert them into consumers in Rollins. My family and I moved here back in 2018, and everybody that we told that we're moving to Rollins, the response 100% of the time was about traveling through Rollins. And it was about 50-50 of those who travel through, they said, oh yeah, Rollins is where we stop for a restroom break or a food stop. The other 50 just drove on through. It was basically like, you know, they'd wave as they went through. The goal here is the more that we can attract travelers to choose Rollins as their stop, the better that's going to be. Some examples of the players in this focus is going to be the food, lodging, fuel services that are located near and along the main roads, the highways, the interstate. And the market here is the travelers. So that's our focus market. The second leg to the stool is to expand, deepen, and support the growth of commercial activity that improves quality of life for city and county residents. Examples there, shopping, entertainment, indoor recreation, household services that help reach higher levels of contentment and happiness among residents. City and county residents then, as well as our potential recruits, are the focus market for that leg of the stool. The third leg then is to diversify our driver economy. Currently we have some industries and sectors operating in this area that result in people taking up residence here. Sinclair, Wyoming Refining Company, the State Pen, the railroad are a few examples of businesses that create or bring jobs to Rollins. Because people live here and work here, then we need the service and support like healthcare, education, and grocery. So this is going to be my initial focus. I wanted to present it tonight. Again, I'm happy with the warm welcome. I'm happy to be with the city. I'm in my second official week here, and it's been wonderful. But I'd love to answer any questions or respond to any comments.
Welcome.
Merry Christmas, Nate.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, we almost forgot.
Best for last, or what's the deal here, Lou?
Honorable Mayor and Council, I'll get my report out here for you, but I do want to touch on a subject that was brought to Council's attention last meeting with some property that was in question on Spruce Street. We did have a meeting, and in the meeting, when I initially got the complaint, first off I look at what's a complaint about, And then second, to be fair to both parties, I look at my municipal code. And the original complaint was with this certain lot, it was 4,488 square feet prior to 1989. Our code today is for a residential mobile home lot, 6,000 square feet. So when I seen the difference in that, I contacted council, the attorneys, and I wanted to make sure I had all my facts straight before I proceeded forward with the decision that was made. And after the attorney looked at it, everything was in order, and this mobile home could go in that lot. It barely fits in this lot, but it's still meeting the setbacks, 10 foot on one side, 8 foot on the other. So it was also brought up that if they're gonna put a deck on the entrance and the exit, they would have to apply for variance. So they're well aware of what's required now to get a certificate of occupancy. I know that council was kind of blindsided with this at that meeting, and we did have a meeting with the gentleman, and as far as I know, everything's resolved with that lot on Spruce Street. So I know that Councilman Gardner was there, Mayor Wyken was there, and city manager, myself, and the complainant. So, like I said, as far as I know, that issue is being resolved, and if it comes up again, then we'll address it again.
Have these people applied for a variance?
They have the paperwork in hand. They have submitted a plan for a permit, and staff was advised that until we get the variance, and if the variance is granted, we don't want to put the horse before the cart on this one. We want to make sure that we have the approval for the variance to move forward. If it passes, it'll be granted. If it's not passed, then we take another avenue for that. So,
And that will be in the hands of the Board of Adjustments.
yes. So I just wanted to clear the water on that one. I'll get to my department reports.
Councilman Weisenberg has something.
I was kind of on the blind side of that too, and I appreciate the apology for that. First and foremost, I'll be honest, I kind of misunderstood the gentleman at first. I thought he was the one with the lot, the way he approached, And then understanding the other side now, I was actually approached in the grocery store by the landowner of the lot. So I got it from both sides. So immediately, family members of that person started messaging me and stuff like that. And they are on the verge of everything or doing everything correctly to get a variance done. So I received a message today showing a picture that they've received 50% of the signatures for a variance. So like I said, they're well on their way in that aspect of things too. So thank you.
Excuse me. I was in Colorado today, so my language wasn't very nice down there today for a little bit. But currently we have 3 homes under construction. We've done 2 plan reviews for miscellaneous projects. We've had some interest on a parcel out on the west end of town coming in. We were also approached by BLM on their barracks/firehouse on Southside. This application was originally submitted back in March of this year, and through the process, it's kind of been left on a desk and then moved forward, and I think it ended upstairs and it came downstairs and it went back to my office. So with Myra's help, we made contact with the gentleman. We had our first meeting 2 days ago. So he's in the same situation for a zone change from R75 to C2. So we're working on that one. Our recycling center, due to the high cost of all, we have currently 65 bales of cardboard waiting to be shipped out. Right now, if we were to ship out a load of cardboard, it would cost us more for freight than what we make. So we're stockpiling it, and once the first of the year comes in, then we'll start sending that out and getting some more cash rather than being in the hole with the haul charge.
Can I ask, how many bales does it take to fill a semi? Just curious.
52 to 53.
Okay.
Our facilities people have been busy cleaning our city buildings. We do have a new facility superintendent, Anthony Zavala. He started, I believe it was December 15th. We welcomed him with a boiler that went down in the police department. So he's working on that. Haven't heard the chief complain yet, so we're probably doing pretty good on that one. And to get back with on Cody's crew on the streets, our shop made a comment to me that, you know, it's nice to be busy some of the time, but not all at once. So when we did have our snowstorm, they were fairly busy trying to keep everything going. So I think that's all I got for council. Any questions?
I just have one comment, Lou, and that is thank you for taking time to straighten out that property on Spruce Street and explaining it and making that guy, I wouldn't say he's happy, but he hasn't called me since, so thank you.
I do have a question. A petition was sent out by the Bureau of Land Management in regard to that fire training or whatever. Was that done before it should have been done? I mean, I got a letter and I'm nowhere near that place.
To make it easier, we found 3 different files with 3 different sets of paperwork with different signatures. So when I talked to the gentleman, we're just going to start from scratch with the initial application and move forward from that point on. That way we don't have.
So I could tell the residents that call me that they're going to get a new letter asking to whether they accept the area or not for what they want to use it for, right?
Right, and then it should be within 300 foot of that buffer area of that property, so.
Okay, that's what I'll tell them. They called the other day if what was going on with it, and I hadn't heard anything yet, but you brought it up.
Yeah, we already received one complaint, that they didn't want it, and that is outside our buffer zone. So I think it's best that we just start from scratch, get the initial application and move forward.
There isn't a lot of houses within that 300-foot buffer zone, is there?
No.
That's what I thought.
No, it's.
Is there any structures within 300 feet of that?
Oh, and that's a funny thing you asked, Mayor, because we've got 3 sheets of signature lists. So that's when I advise staff that let's start from scratch with the 300-foot buffer and move forward from that point on.
I can see where you get 3 sheets, when I got one, and I'm a mile and a half away from where they're gonna put it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have any rentals there, Councilman, on close to that area.
Yeah.
So that would be a reason that you would receive a.
Okay.
Well, thank you for straightening that out too.
You bet.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Okay, thanks, Mary. Beat us to it. Thanks. All right.
Honorable Mayor and Council, I just want to give 3 very quick updates. 2 of them are very timely, so I wanted to make sure we did get those out to you and the public. First, we do have our holiday map up, and this year we have like 37 people who've either submitted their neighbors or their own properties. So if you're a person who likes to drive around and look at lights, that is up at our website. The second thing I wanted to share is that we have a lot of board and commission openings that turn over this time of year. So we are going to be accepting applications for a total, I think, of 12 positions on 9 different boards, and those are due by December 30th, so that the council has time to look those over before review at the January meeting. So if anybody's interested in serving on a board or commission, please apply. It's really easy online, or you can come in and pick up a printed copy. And then lastly, I just wanted to quickly share, because I'm really proud and it's something that the strategic plan we're moving forward on, is the Volunteer Recognition and Training Committee has been meeting pretty regularly. And I asked Jason to come join me, as Tyrell's actually the chair of that committee, which has been really fun. But we have a really cool new program we're starting, and I'll let Jason talk about that.
So it's called the Community Builder Award, and we're actually going to start, I believe, in January. We had some email correspondence with the committee today. And like Myra said, it's a great part of the strategic plan. One of the initiatives is recognizing volunteers. So I just wanted to read real quick kind of what describes what we're looking for in this Community Builder Award. It says, the Community Builder Award is a monthly award the city presents to local individuals, businesses, and organizations for their volunteer service, sponsorship, promotion of programs and events, outstanding service in the interest of the city, and for other contributions significant to Rollins' quality of life. We kind of had it broad because we didn't want to limit it to individuals or businesses or organizations or service clubs. We wanted to be able to open it up to any group or individual that fits these. And we're excited about it. So probably second meeting in January, we'll be coming to City Council to present the award. Another member of the volunteer committee had a great idea to present the award to the person's either place of work or place of their choosing. If it's a family, we can present it to them in a park or at a family residence or something. Just so, yes, we can present it here at City Council, but also we thought it would be nice to present it at a place of their choosing, around their colleagues at their work, for example. So we're excited about this one, I think, and it's a good start. And it happened quick. It just shows we developed a volunteer committee. We met maybe twice or three times. Tyrell is the leader of the committee, and we've made a lot of progress in a short amount of time. So we're excited about this.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, is there any other department heads? At this time, I'm going to declare a 10-minute recess or 15.
If I'm the only one, you can carry on and I'll just sleep out.
No, we're partners in crime here, so.